ask me the next question. This is good.
All right, so this is mystery time on YouTube.
Okay.
It says, my husband and I are separated. I want our marriage restored, but my husband says no, and he wants me to get the divorce. What do I pray?
I think that's really tough, mystery time. I'm sorry that you're going through that. I think that you pray ultimately for restoration, unless when it comes to divorce, for me, this is what I personally believe. And a lot of tonight's going to be our opinions, but what I personally believe is the divorce is actually the last case scenario, and especially if there's any type of abuse or there's danger. If anyone's in danger, then you have to get out. But other than that, I think that God can give you the grace to stay with someone, and he can give you a love for that person. And I really believe that God can help us with this. And I've seen some marriages that look like they were over, and it's amazing. It's one of the greatest miracles is seeing relationships restored. In fact, the disciples said, they didn't say give us more faith to heal the sick. They didn't say give us more faith to cast out demons. They said give us more faith to forgive each other, to forgive our brothers and sisters.
To not take offense.
To not take offense, amen. So I think in a marriage, when you're offended, or the other person's offended, or there's unforgiveness, it's miraculous to see that restoration. But I believe that you can seek the Lord for more love for your spouse, and actually say, Lord, help me see my spouse through your eyes. And sometimes it's dangerous, to pray, Lord, change my spouse, change my husband, or change my wife, and you start thinking about all that. What about thinking about the positive things and start calling those things that be not as if they are, and say, Lord, thank you that my spouse is a godly person. Thank you that they love you, Lord. Thank you that they're kind, considerate, and start speaking those things out over them when you pray for them, and pray for them positively. I've got a friend who, he was actually put in prison for double murder, and this was many, many decades ago, and his wife actually prayed. He wasn't born again, she got born again. She actually prayed while he was in prison, I thank you, Lord, my husband's a good man. I thank you, Lord, he's an honest man.
She called those things that be not as though they
yeah,
were.
and she prayed for him like that for years while he was in prison. He got supernaturally released from prison, and then he started a church, and I've preached at his church. So I'm telling you, it's possible for you to, and I know it's one of the most difficult things you can do is live in a marriage where it's not reciprocal, where your spouse is not loving you back, or seemingly not participating. But I believe you can do it with God's strength. Again, unless it's a dangerous situation, I believe you can stay there and do everything. If your husband's telling you you've got to serve the divorce papers, if he really wants to divorce you, then it's going to have to be on him. I wouldn't do that if you don't feel like it's the right thing to do. I'll stick to your convictions.
Nobody can make you initiate a divorce, and if he wants to do that, if he's set on doing that, I mean, you can pray, but you can't change somebody's will. And if somebody's will, God's will for you guys is to have a healthy, happy marriage, and to be restored no matter what has happened, no matter what hurt's been caused. He's the God of restoration that can change hearts and bring healing and forgiveness, amen, and relight a fire, that a love that kind of went out. He can relight that love on the inside of you, and I believe that your marriage can be better than it ever was, amen.
Yeah.
But God is the God of restoration and healing.
Come on.
And no matter what your husband chooses, whether he chooses to stay with you or not, God has a good plan for your life.
Come on.
He has a good plan. He has goodness planned
Carlie.
for you. He has prosperity planned for you. Amen. He hasn't got a plan. He's not planning for you to live a life of grief or loneliness. He has companionship for you. Amen. He has godly relationships for your life.
Praise God.